If you boys need any sort of my team grinding, make sure to hit up my boy Witty over on Twitter. He's got the fastest, most reliable, and the cheapest prices out there. You guys don't want to miss out. In this video, we got another episode of the series where I rate and improve your guys' team. You guys send me your team over on Twitter at xevantanaka. I'll put out a tweet asking for teams, and you guys just have to reply to that tweet with the team you guys have and the empty amount you guys have, or at least the empty amount you guys want to spend, and then I'll maybe put you guys into one of these videos and I'll give you guys my best suggestions to upgrade your team and also give you guys your team a rating 1 through 10. So you guys can also comment down below in the comment section. Let me know your guys' team and how much MT you guys have, and I'll maybe go through some of those comments and I'll respond, giving you guys my suggestions and maybe my ratings as well. But looking at the first team here, sent in by my boy Spiritual, and he's got a really good team. If we're talking about the rating right away, this is a great team. I mean, not the best team in the game, but you have Opal Wemby, you have Pink Diamond Dr. J. This is a really well-rounded team. I would give this squad probably a 9 out of 10. You have about 700,000 MT to work with. At least he's saying after he sells that Beasley, Laurie, and LaMelo, he wants to replace Anthony Davis. So I think the Anthony Davis upgrade could be made with 673,000 MT. It just depends how much MT do you want to spend to upgrade Anthony Davis. I think a card like Rudy Gobert could be a really good option at the power forward position. Really do like Rudy. I think he'd give you some great size next to Kristaps Porzingis, but it also depends, you know, can you green with Rudy Gobert? Do you want a card that maybe doesn't have the greatest of jump shots in the world? Or you could even go a card like Jonathan Bender. You have two really good small forwards. Maybe you want to put Jonathan Bender at power forward. He can definitely hold his own, being 7 foot and has a great jump shot. So those are a couple options you could run at the power forward position. Of Vlade Divac, of Vucevic. There's so many options as well. Like Vlade is really good. He could be a great pairing next to Kristaps Porzingis. So, and maybe you can even upgrade KP. Maybe you go Vlade at the 4, and then maybe you go Gobert at the 5, right? Something like that is what I would do for your backup 4 and 5 position. I think your starting lineup is good to go. Your backup bench is really good as well. Cade, J. Rich, Beasley. I wouldn't really replace any of those cards. I think they're all amazing for their price tag, and I think that's a really good backcourt sort of small forward position. So yeah, I think your backup 4 or 5 is the only positions you really need to look to upgrade. I think Vlade Divac for power forward is a great option. Vucevic is a great option. Gobert is a great option as well. So it just depends how you kind of want to run your team. I think for me personally, I would go Vlade Divac as backup power forward, and I would go Galaxy Opal Rudy Gobert as backup center. But you could keep Kristaps if you really do like that card. He's also a great center card as well. But looking at the next team here is going to be sent in by my boy Kriegfall. I probably mispronounced that name, but yeah, sent to my boy from him. 700,000 MT to work with, and this is honestly not a great team. Completely honest, this is a 3 out of 10. I mean, you have some good cards in here. You have Dark Matter B-Roy. You have Opal Jason Richardson. You know Vucevic or Jokic is not bad. D-Rob's not bad. You have some okay point guards. So maybe it's like a 4 or 5 out of 10. I mean, you have some better cards than maybe I thought, but realistically, the squad's not very good. You're running a season 1 Tracy McGrady. That card is pretty bad. So for your point guard position, instead of Zach LaVine, if you really like that card, you could maybe grind for his free Galaxy Opal today in the triple threat win streak park. But I'd probably move him to backup point guard, and I would start Stephon Castle. Now, if you wanted to get a more expensive point guard, you definitely could, but I'm going to save that MT for some other position. So I go Stephon Castle as your starting point guard. He's going to be a better defender than Zach LaVine. He's taller than Zach LaVine, and I think he's a better fit next to Jason Richardson, who's obviously your starting shooting guard. For your starting small forward position, I would go Jonathan Bender. For your backup small forward position, I would go Rudy Gay. I think that makes your small forward positions a ton better than Xavier McDaniel and Tracy McGrady. For your power forward position, I would get rid of both those cards as well. I would go for cards like just I mentioned for the other squad, Vlade Divac, Vucevic. Those cards are really good for power forward. You can maybe even mix in a Rudy Gobert at power forward if you want, but I think you need a better center. If you want to run Jokic still because maybe he's unauctionable, you could move Jokic to the 4, and I would get Rudy Gobert as your starting center. Maybe a Wilt Chamberlain if you wanted to, maybe a Galaxy Opal Kareem, but I think the best option out of those 3 is Opal Rudy Gobert. So the 10-man rotation I would build for this type of team is Stephon Castle at the 1, Jason Richardson at the 2. I'd probably start Jonathan Bender at the 3, then I would go Vlade Divac at the 4, or if you want to have Jokic, you could slide Jokic. You know what? Let's say we slide Jokic to the 4, and then we use the backup power forward as Vlade Divac, the Jokic starting power forward, Rudy Gobert starting center, and then off the bench, you could keep Dwayne Wade or Zach LaVine, whoever you do prefer. Shooting guards, fine with Brandon Roy. He's obviously amazing. Backup small forward, Rudy Gay. Backup power forward, we'll say Vlade Divac. And then backup center, David Robinson is still a very good card, even though he came out in season 3. And that's sort of the 10-man rotation I would build with this type of squad. Now looking at the next team here, coming in from my boy Nick, he says he's badging up KD so he can sell him for some more profit, and he's got about 175,000 MT. So we'll say Kevin Durant's not on your squad, and you're gonna have a lot of MT to have. You're gonna have over 1 million MT to spend after you get Kevin Durant, maybe even more. So you have a lot of MT here to work with. For the rating out of 10, I think it's an okay team. I think it's like a 6. I would say a 6 out of 10, maybe 7. I'd say probably, you know, with Kevin Durant gone, if he's not there, probably a 6. With Kevin Durant obviously on the lineup, I would say like a 7 out of 10. It's a solid team. You know, I like J Rich, I like KD, I like Braun. AD's not bad. I just think you're a little bit small at the center position. So for that reason alone, I'm going to go 6 out of 10. For the rating, I think you can improve both point guard position. Again, if you're going to have that much MT to spend, you could spend a lot, but I think getting Stephon Castle is a really good card for a budget price tag if you want to maybe run him as your backup point guard and then start Austin Reeves as your starting point guard. That's personally what I would do. So I would go Austin Reeves starting point guard. I would go Castle backup point guard. For the shooting guard position, J Rich is really good. You can keep him there. If you want to grind for Brandon Roy to get another free card, definitely would recommend doing that. But if you wanted to spend the MT and you didn't want to grind to level 40 right now, I think cards like Hal Korver, Drazen Petrovic are all really, really good options for that shooting guard price. And you could even spend a little bit more MT, go get a Pink Diamond Dr. J. That could be a great option as well. So those are like 3 shooting guards I'd recommend for your backup shooting guard, obviously behind Jason Richardson, or maybe you could start one of those cards if you do like them more. And then for small forward, I'm probably going to recommend you the 2 small forwards I just recommended, Jonathan Bender and Rudy Gay. They're so good for their price. Michael Beasley's another option as well. Just to give you guys some options, I want to give you guys options for each team. For you specifically, Nick, just trying to give you guys more options and just giving you 1 or 2 cards to work with, because maybe you're not a huge fan of those cards, maybe you don't like them, or maybe you don't think they're, you know, worth their price tag. So just want to give you guys some other options you can go with. You could even slide LeBron to small forward as well. So if you want to use LeBron at small forward and then have like a Jonathan Bender as backup small forward, you could definitely do that as well. I would probably just shift your power forward, your centers over to the power forward position. Anthony Davis starting power forward, Jaren Jackson Jr. backup power forward, and then for the center position, Rudy Gobert. Love that card for his value. I think he's a really good buy. If you want to go cheap off the bench, you can maybe go for a Big Z Pink Diamond. You can maybe go for a Pink Diamond Zach Edey, a Pink Diamond Alex Sarr. If you're looking for more of a budget price tag, those are some really, really good center options. Looking at the next team here, coming in from my boy, I think Jay, we'll just go that, or Kid by his gamer tag. He says working his way up to Bob McAdoo, looking to see what his next move should be. So for rating out of 10, another squad that I just don't think is that amazing. I'll probably give it like a 5 out of 10. It's a mid team. I mean, John Collins isn't great. Maybe it's like a 5.5, 6 out of 10. I think for your 2 point guards, Stephon Castle, Dwayne Wade, that's okay as your point guards. Your shooting guards are pretty good. Jason Richardson, OG, I'd keep that the same. For small forward, I like LeBron obviously starting. You have 90,000 MT to spend, so I'm not sure if I want to spend all of my MT on this backup small forward. But again, Jonathan Bender, a really good pickup. He's only about 70K, so I'd recommend Jonathan Bender for your backup small forward. I think just probably shifting over Alex Sarr to center and then getting Diamond Jaren Jackson Jr. for backup power forward is what I would personally do. So you can keep your starting lineup the same. And then bench, I would go like Stephon Castle, OG Anunoby, Jonathan Bender, Jaren Jackson Jr. Diamond card, and then Pink Diamond Alex Sarr. And I think that's a really good 10-man rotation. And honestly, that bumps up your rating to like a 7.5, 8 out of 10. That is definitely a very good squad for only 90,000 MT to work with. The next team here is going to come in from my boy, I guess Dexter. Again, we'll go by the gamer tag there. He's got 100,000 MT to spend, and this is a really good team besides a couple cards. I mean, or sorry, he has really good cards overall. Is it the best team? Probably not, but like he's got Scottie Pippen, LeBron, Giannis, Wemby. I would keep that the exact same. You really just need point guards. With 100,000 MT to spend, Stephon Castle has to be on here, and I'd recommend you go grind that win streak. Go get yourself that free Galaxy Opal Zach LaVine. So I would start Zach LaVine as your starting point guard. Stephon Castle is your backup point guard. You could keep Ron Artest in there if you wanted to, so he could be your backup too. I would use Bob McAdoo as your backup power forward. And then for your backup small forward, again, Jonathan Benders, who I'd recommend maybe looking to save up for a Michael Beasley or Rudy Gay, could be a great option as well. And then for your backup center position, Rudy Gobert is really good, Vlade Divac's really good, Pink Diamond Big Z is really good, Galaxy Opal Vucevic is really good. Again, are you going to be able to afford those cards? Probably not. So I think Big Z is going to have to be the card we'll go with. Even a Diamond Tyson Chandler is really good. Those are some amazing center options. So for your team, again, I would probably go that free Galaxy Opal LaVine starting with your starting lineup. Your bench, I would go Stephon Castle, Ron Artest, Jonathan Bender. We'll say Bob McAdoo back at power forward. And then just to keep it cheap, we'll go like a Diamond Tyson Chandler or Pink Diamond Big Z and I think your squad's good to go. And then looking at the last team here coming in for my boy Sports Geek, he's got 150,000 MT to spend, and this is a good team. It's very solid all the way around. I'd say like a 7.5 out of 10. I think you could upgrade Penny Hardaway. That's the first card I'm sort of looking at. Again, maybe going out and grinding for that free Galaxy Opal Levine. Other than that, the only really upgrade I'm seeing is backup small forward. And again, I know it's very repetitive, but these cards are very good for their price tag. Jonathan Bender, Rudy Gay, Michael Beasley, I think are all upgrades over that Pink Diamond Adam Morrison. And overall, I think this is a really, really good team. And yeah, boys, that's going to do it for another episode of the series where I do rate and improve your guys' team. Like I said at the start of the video, make sure to comment your team down below, how much MT you guys have, and I'll probably respond to a couple comments, giving you guys my suggestions of who I would upgrade. But hopefully you guys did enjoy this video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.